What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I'm Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris183.
What is up, Chris183? Welcome back, everyone, to Victorious, our month-long series where we explore albums that came off of the label Victory Records. And we kicked it off last week with Bayside, and we're going to talk about basically a type of music and a band that we've kind of never really talked about before. And I don't want to put the horse before the cart or the cart before the horse. I don't know which one it is. But last week we had a first timer on the show, and we have another one. Buddy of mine for a long time, who I think has seen this band with me a few times. Kevin, I call him Kevin Cheeseman. That's not his real name. Kevin Cheeseman, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yes, we definitely have seen this band at least once or twice, so I'm excited to dive into this.
And Chris, I didn't say the name of the band. Do you want to say what we're talking about here?
It's funny because I always forget to say the name of the band, so you see how the intro kind of gets to you, and you never actually do say it. Yes, the name of the band is Straylight Run, and the name of the album is, ready for this? Straylight Run.
That is right. It is a self-titled record from 20 years ago, from the year 2004. And I've brought up Straylight Run a few times in the show, and I'm a pretty big fan of theirs, especially of this album. I have no idea what is in Chris's pocket, how he is going to react or think. So I'm excited. Do you want to give any initial anything, or?
I kind of don't. Because that's just going to give everything away.
Fair enough. Do you know what is Straylight Run? Because there's a little bit of folklore and who's in the band and stuff like that around it. Are you familiar with this?
I do because I've done my research for the show because I'm smart and I do that kind of thing. But everybody out there that's just sitting there enjoying our show probably did not, and that's okay. So why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
Well, I mentioned that we haven't really talked. I would maybe call these guys indie rock. They're not punk. They're not pop punk, really. They're not particular. Maybe they're a little emo. But the two of the gentlemen who started this band, they offshot from another band. And Kevin, do you know which band that is?
Taking Back Sunday.
Correct. Okay. I'm sorry. We just finished Jeopardy not that long ago. So I'm we're in this asking questions thing. But yeah, so John Nolan and Sean Cooper left Taking Back Sunday and decided to form this project called Straylight Run. John does vocals, piano, guitar. His sister's in the band. Her name is Michelle. She does vocals, piano, guitar as well. Sean Cooper, who went to my high school, shout out to Baldwin Senior High School, plays the bass, and Will Noon plays drums. So when Taking Back Sunday kind of changed, I will say, and Fred joined their band. Actually, Fred was in a different band, I think, with Will. There was a lot of overlap, but Straylight Run was formed out of the disformation of Taking Back Sunday. And Chris, does this sound like anything else you've ever heard on Victory Records?
No, it certainly doesn't. But did they have dueling pianos? So you said two of them play piano. How is that possible?
I think in the recording, they each have credits on the piano. When they play live, it's just Michelle.
I see. But he really wants to play too.
He might have played at some point. But yeah, Victory is kind of hardcore and screamy. So this doesn't really fit in. And I took a little gander at how this ended up there. And apparently John and Sean, because of their involvement in Taking Back Sunday, they were bound by a contract and they had to release an album on Victory Records. So that's why this is on Victory Records. They fulfilled their contract.
But do you think Victory really just kind of wants to just be the loud and screamy album label? I don't Drive Thru was semi-diverse, and some of the artists, actually, they were more diverse than maybe you and I knew before we did not only just the one exercise a couple years ago now, but kind of going through some of the rest of the catalog in our redux or rebound to the Drive Thru records. We saw a lot of different bands that maybe didn't necessarily fit the mold. So do you think maybe this was part of the plan, obviously with the contractual obligations in mind, but don't you think that they wanted to pull in maybe a different audience and make a little bit more money off of those people that weren't into the loud and screamy stuff?
I would tend to think that a record label wants to make money no matter what. So, but they probably did want to capitalize off of Taking Back Sunday fans who knew that these guys left the band and maybe thought that they were going to get some Taking Back Sunday.
Maybe.
So I was going to say, I was pretty sure this was right after Tell All Your Friends came out. So Taking Back Sunday was kind of riding a high in I would say, the emo punk scene. So they probably did want some of that money or residual success on those two guys.
And they got something completely different. So why don't we start, Kevin? Do you remember like coming across this band, where you found them? Did I force you to listen to them in college? Maybe, I don't know. Did you find them on your own? How'd you get across these guys?
I am about 90% certain that I probably got the CD from you in college.
Legally.
Yes, of course. But I definitely probably would have started listening to them just because I was big into Taking Back Sunday back in the day. So this was just right up my alley. And then, I know at least some songs started to pick up play. So there was some success there. So I'm sure had I not pulled it from you, it would have eventually made its way.
Do you think that if Tom DeLonge from the band Blink 183 would go and do that's my version of it, actually.
Okay.
That's the sequel. You get what I'm saying. If anybody has a problem with that, just join our Discord and let me know. But if he went and joined a country band and put out a country album, would you want to listen to that?
I would probably give it like a listen to see what it was, and then if I liked it, maybe continue. But I wouldn't want to just listen. Like, you have to. That's the draw. You hear it for the first time because maybe you know the guys in the band. But then if you enjoy the music, you kind of continue it.
What about if it was mumble rap or something like that? Would you listen to that?
I did listen to Machine Gun Kelly when he made the diss track about Eminem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just wondering because I'm obviously going somewhere with that, but.
Where are you going?
I am going with the fact that, yes, it does have names here, but man, like if you are a fan of one thing and you listen to this, I'm not saying people aren't diverse in their tastes because a lot of people are, but I don't know how well this translated to people that weren't necessarily open to, I don't even know how to categorize it. I have some words, but I'll save those for the deep dive. But I don't know how well this translated to those people that maybe weren't so open to this kind of music, to piano music, to like really nice slow dance music.
Indie music. It's indie music. I'm actually not a real big fan of indie music, but I really enjoyed this back in the day. I can't remember exactly like when I picked it up or where I picked it up, but I'm pretty sure it was just like, okay, John Nolan's new thing. I'm going to listen to this. And I mean, it very least, his voice is still his voice, right? It's different music. His voice is still his voice. There's still a lot of those like harmonies and catchiness and big choruses and stuff like that, but it's mixed in with some ballady stuff. I don't know if you want to call it slow dance stuff or anything like that, but I thought it was quite different, and I liked it. I dug it.
You're a very emotional type of guy, so I could see where you would like it. Yeah,
it is true. And just some stats on Straylight Run. So they, not a ton of longevity in this band. So that's why you may, everybody out there may not know too much about them. But this record came out October 12th, 2004. It got to number 100 on the Billboard Top 200, number 4 on the Independent Albums charts. Sold over 225,000 copies, so it did okay. They only had one other full-length record called The Needles to Space in 2007, and they had a couple other EPs. But that was kind of it. But when this came out, I mean, I saw this band within the span of like a year or so 4 times. So I was pretty in. And Kevin, let me know how many of these shows you were at. One of them, I think, was in New York with Hot Rod Circuit and Say Anything. So even though they're this indie rock, they're still touring with some of these punk bands. Not that one, right?
I was not at that one. I have never seen Say Anything, much to my regret.
Well, they're still kind of touring. And I'm pretty sure we went to Indiana University of Pennsylvania and saw them there with a band called Gratitude, which I think is a perfect pairing. Anybody who knows Gratitude, I think that's a really good, softer rock with a little punk influence kind of taste to it. I don't think you went to Bamboozle in 2005 in New Jersey, but most likely, listen to this lineup. Straylight Run headlining in 2005. The openers are the Plain White T's and Paramore.
Oof.
How about that, Bill?
I mean, are you saying that because you think I'm going to like that?
You got to admit that's a strong bill, is it not?
I don't know. Like, we like this. I like the Plain White Tees just fine. I don't know if I love the Plain White Tees just fine. Like, they're good. I actually probably like more of his other stuff he does, but I could see at the time there was a lot of star power there. I'll give it to you.
But Paramore, like just when they're first starting out as the opening act, Kevin, you might have been at that one. That was at the Crowbar.
I think I was at that one, and I was definitely at the one in IUP.
Yeah, and then they did a quick reunitings like a year or two ago, and they opened for Taking Back Sunday. So John Nolan and Sean Cooper were on stage for basically 3 or 4 hours because they played a 10-song set with Straylight Run, and then they did the entire Taking Back Sunday set, which was pretty cool.
You said the Crowbar? They were at the Crowbar?
They were, 2005.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was thinking maybe like a stadium show or something, but this is just like the the small little Crowbar. Not stadium, but like, a bigger venue than the Crowbar.
I don't think these guys ever got to the stage where they were playing huge venues. I remember at that Bamboozle, there was like a secret special guest, and it was them playing a second like acoustic set or something like that. But no, they were playing like, small clubs kind of places. Laga, maybe.
Interesting. Okay. Good for them.
Yeah. Any other stories about Straylight Run you want to talk about, Chris? I would assume this is the first go around.
I've never heard of this band in my life.
Never heard it. The name.
Well,
nothing.
no, I take that back because you talk about them a lot, and I never really had the time nor the nor wanted to put the effort into listening to them because you never really got behind like, hey, you need to listen to this band. You kind of just said that you went to the concert and you said that you like them just fine, but you really haven't gone bananas over them at all, and you really never kind of talked about them a ton. So I never really went the extra distance to listen.
Maybe I didn't think that it was going to be in your wheelhouse.
Well, you know what happens when you assume.
I'm probably right.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
All right. In that case, why don't we start talking about Straylight Run's self-titled album? And the first song is called "The Perfect Ending." Okay. Chris, do you want to start?
No. I mean, I think it just makes more sense for you to start this one because this was more your pick than mine. So why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so The Perfect Ending is just, it's a really stripped down, slow, nice piano ballad. It kind of reminds me a little bit like when the Early November started off their record with Ever So Sweet, like to start an album. Instead of starting off with something like strong and like kicking it into gear, something that's kind of soft. And I mean, the juxtaposition between what Taking Back Sunday was and what this is, I mean, immediately you're like, okay, well, this is totally different. And maybe that's what they were going for. I did read that a lot of these songs were, written while these guys were in Taking Back Sunday, but they didn't quite fit. So they were looking for a place to do them. To me, the song it's definitely slow, but it's not boring. And I really like a lot of the lyrics on this album have very, very, positive messages to them, just keep moving on. There's no perfect endings. Kind of, remember you're one of the lucky ones. So I think this is a good first track, soft first track. Kevin?
I think it's good. It's middle of the road for me off of this album. It doesn't really strike me anything. It's not too memorable. It's fine. That's really my take on this first song.
Yeah, look, I mean, I can't disagree with you, Kevin. It is fine. It's definitely not an intro, though. You think about these bands that do these really quick intro tracks. No, sir. This one's like 4 minutes long, and it's 4 minutes jam packed of piano and sadness and slow and artsy and all that fun stuff that you want to start an album off with to really get you going. Yeah, that's kind of what they're giving you here. I'm not saying that I don't like slow stuff. I'm not saying that I don't like emotional music. I think, musically, like Steve said, they do a lot of interesting things here with the piano, with the lyrics, with the guitar. But man, does it bring you down from the get-go. I feel like, it needs to be a cold fall day with a hot cup of whatever you drink, cider. What do people drink in the fall?
Sure, cider, cocoa.
Do you drink hot cider though? I think that's gross.
Yeah, I not often, but I have.
Next time I see you, I'm going to take a cup of apple juice and put it in the microwave.
No, it has to be like made that way. It's got to be.
I'm making it for you.
Apples down. Not microwaving Mott's apple juice. That doesn't sound appealing.
Anyway, so you threw me off. I didn't think you were going to go that direction, but guys, I mean, this is what this is. I don't think this caught me in any specific way. But what it did do is tell me that this is not going to be the album maybe you thought it was going to be. This is going to be something a little bit different. And get ready, strap in, because more of this to come. Actually, most of this to come. So I don't know if I have like an ultimate, like, oh, I hated this or didn't like it or loved it or liked it. I just didn't know what to do. I was just kind of confused. I just kind of went with it. Back to the point, though, about me liking slow music. I do have to be in the mood. Maybe some of you out there agree with me. But if I'm not really in the mood for this isn't like an every mood song for me. Like, I have to be in a certain mood. Otherwise, I will turn it off. So that's kind of what I think about the perfect endings. If I'm not feeling that great or sad, it's a sad day, or just kind of feeling like everything's not going my way. See, I just kind of rhymed there. Did you see that? That wasn't on purpose. I would listen to this song, and I think it would help.
Make you feel better. Do you think that it should have been like the last track, since it's called like the perfect ending?
Maybe. This would be good. I used to listen to Everybody Hurts by REM probably about 30 times in a row after there was this girl in high school that would not go out with me at all. And every time I would get rejected, I would listen to that song, and it would make me feel better. And I think that this is kind of like that. So if I had this song in high school, I would have listened to it.
Go back in time. Find out what is all the tension and the terror.
It's impossible.
You can try. Why don't, Kevin, you want to kick off the tension and the terror?
Sure. Great song. One of my favorites off the album. Definitely not the same vibe as the first song. If I would say this might be the most upbeat song on the album. Kicking it off with the drums that kind of come out so very fast. It definitely, I like the lyrics in it. All around, one of the best for me.
Do you think what is this about? Is this about like dating?
I would say that this is about the butterflies that you get when you're in a relationship.
So dating.
Yeah. Dating. Or
still essentially emo music.
Oh, it's a quite emo lyrically, song.
Yeah, man, this song has the feeling. I feel like I'm immersed in early 2000s indie rock when I listen to this song. This hits on every single beat. That if you have in your mind what indie rock sounds like, listen to this song, because that's what it is. And not a bad thing, not a great thing, kind of in the middle thing for me. I get the appeal here, guys. I see how certain people would like this. I do appreciate the little bit more upbeat approach to this. Again, not being down on slower music, but I'm always one to kind of like upbeat stuff a little bit more. So I'm there. I'm here for that. But the tune, the melody, while it was somewhat catchy. It just didn't hit a chord. It didn't hit that chord enough to make me want to. And I listened to this one over and over and over and over again because I thought that with time I would probably change my opinion because it was right on the cusp, but I just couldn't get there. So, Steve, could you get there?
Yeah. I think you should keep trying because for the second, as Kevin said, you feel the pace pick up right away. It's not all going to be the same as, the perfect ending. This song, the pacing of it is fantastic. The keys fit in perfectly. The emotion in his voice is fantastic. I love the whole pre-chorus that goes right into this really big chorus. Like, this is a chorus that you can like really sing and feel and have fun with. The positivity in the actual lyrics, again, similar to the last one, is really, really nice in a time in 2004 where a lot of stuff is down and emo and sad, whatever. Having some positive stuff is nice. I think the one thing that stood out to me huge is there's a drum solo like right after the bridge, and there's just this like slight slowdown, and he goes right back into the big chorus, the loud chorus, and John's voice sounds great. I think Existentialism on Prom Night was kind of like the single if there was a single, but I think that this one was probably the strongest, and I think if I was Victory Records, I would have probably pushed this one as the try and make it a video and a single and get to radio and stuff like this. I think this is the one that could have made it.
Cool.
The one thing I feel like I was a little disappointed on is actually not a knock on this song, but I think this is Will Noon, the drummer's best song easily by far. As you said, there's that solo transition. He did a lot of stuff just moving the song forward. So I kind of feel like they didn't feature him much on many other songs. They were big on the keyboards, and this was like the one song he was able to stand out on.
I feel like it's like a happy romantic song too. Like, I think in college I wanted to like make out with girls with this song in the background. That was my goal. Maybe I did it once. I don't know.
With this song in the background?
This song is good. Yeah. It's such a sweet song.
Why wouldn't you choose song 1? That's slower. It sets the mood better.
Nah, this is sweeter. It's got that intensity to it. The other one's too chill.
No wonder it didn't work.
Oh, it worked. Maybe. I don't remember.
You didn't say that.
Well, specifically.
Speaking of doing that sort of activity, let's go to the next song, Existentialism on Prom Night. Existentialism on Prom Night. I was trying to look into why they called that song this in the lyrics of the song, and I thought that maybe it tells a story tied to waking up after prom and thinking about things. But does it really? Because I don't know. Like, I don't think that a regular human being that's in their teens would think about these specific things. I don't think so. I think this is way beyond the realm of what they would be thinking about at that point in time, especially if they were waking up in bed after prom night. So the last thing
I don't know that it's that literal.
I mean, you don't know. That's the thing. I think you said it. You don't know.
And you're making it seem like it's existentialism after prom night. It's existentialism on prom night. What's going to happen? What is in store for us?
Yeah, but you can wait.
The world is wide open.
They could wake up at 4 a.m. and it's
Sing
still
like
kind
you
of
think
prom night.
No one's listening.
It's still dark outside. It's still dark outside. So it's still technically night. So you can wake up in the morning, but it's still being prom night. You get what I'm saying? You get it?
You're getting quite existentialist here. You're really creating this narrative to fit your
I keep feeling like these kind of songs, like if you listen to this song and you really get into it, it feels like that you're in a pivotal moment of a Gilmore Girls episode. And I think that fits perfectly here because that's kind of when that show was out, I believe, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. This fits right into that, like, WB, teen drama sound that they used to have back then. I didn't love it. And I don't necessarily love this, but I do have some upside and some downside. This is a new way that I've kind of started thinking about songs instead of just blurting out anything. So for the upside, I thought this song had a little bit of extra oomph, and the last, we'll call it reprise, maybe of the chorus or whatever, right? It sounded like the same words, but a little bit more oomph there. So I got into that a little bit. The piano throughout the song, it sounds nice enough. It's mood setting like we talked about. So maybe I get what you're saying after all. I don't know. Maybe I get what you're saying. Actually, that was the last song, not this one. So never mind. I don't get you. And the third one is I kind of like the marching drum roll beats throughout the song. I thought that was cool to listen to. So those are the things that I picked out that were kind of like on the upside of things. The downside, who would kill for what? I don't know what he's talking about. Like what's he saying? Who would kill for what? Do you have an answer for me?
This.
But is it to wake up in bed on prom morning? That's what you would kill for?
What he would have. It's not literal.
But why can't it be?
I mean, it's not a white paper. It's not an essay.
Okay, listen. So that was number one. And look, it's so sappy. You know, a guy my age, I don't know how I can get into this song. Like, I feel like it's not for me. I would, again, would really need to be in the mood to get into this one. And I'll tell you what, like over the last several weeks that I listened to this particular album, I just could not find that mood. I'm sorry, guys. Wasn't into this one.
That's a good point. Jeez, man, I'm curious. If we were like 40 years old when this album came out, would we be able to relate to it at all?
So let's say this. He was saying you would kill for this, and I know, jokes aside, it's kind of, I feel like it's referencing that feeling of hope on prom night when you're like a kid, and you're in high school and like the world's your oyster. And this kind of pulls me back to that zone. So this is definitely one of the songs that I've listened to that still holds up for me, that I will listen to on my computer or what have you, and listen through it the whole way through. So I think I'd be good with it. I think it holds up.
But if you were Chris and you were listening to the first time now, could you get into it? I'm not saying the answer is no. I'm just posing a question.
I'm saying it gives me that sense of like putting you back in that state of mind that you were in high school, or looking back at that state. So I think it is meant to be something that you reflect on. And that's kind of the whole tone of the piano, the whole thing through. It does have, it is kind of somber, but it is, it rolls through, it keeps moving. It's got good progression. I mean, I feel like the piano with the up and down, as soon as it starts, it like puts you in that zone right there.
Little Constantine-y, you know.
Yeah, I could see a little of that.
Same vibe. Chris, did you have any more points? I wasn't sure if we cut you off.
No, that was it.
That was it. How about you, Kevin? Anything else?
No, I mean, as I said, this is still probably one of my favorite songs, of all time. It's definitely in like my top 20 or 50 or what have you there. So this one has always been up there for me. So maybe I'm biased about it. I don't know, but it'll always be good for me.
Yeah. So this is number 3 on the record. And it goes, obviously we spoke about it, goes back down to that like slower paced kind of piano to start with. I think the layers with Michelle's voice sound fantastic. Have you ever heard like a cliche turned into an awesome song? Like sing like you think no one's listening. Like that's on everybody's fucking bathroom wall and all that nonsense. But I mean, the way that he belts that out, like he hits that high note so perfect, and it really does kind of, transport you and be like, I should sing like no one's listening. I'm gonna do what I want, live my life, to its fullest. And then, man, the bridge, to me, I love the bridge to the song. Is there not a better like AOL AIM away message? Sing me something soft, sad and delicate, or loud and out of key. Sing me anything. Like, I feel like I'm 19 years old. I'm emo, and I just want people to read that in my away message. And each time that they do the choruses, though, and I think Chris, you mentioned this, they get bigger each time. The choruses kind of build and get bigger. Maybe it's the marching drum, maybe it's just the actual like octave that he's hitting. I don't know, but they seem to just get beltier and beltier. And then it ends on that, just like it started. It slows down, little bit of piano, that same line there, sing me something soft, sad and delicate, loud and out of key, sing me anything, and then boom, it's out. So I think they did do this one. This was like the single that they were pushing, and it's definitely the most streamed song. But and I did say I like the tension, the terror, and that would have been a better. But I can't say anything bad. This one holds up for me.
Who in the world? Like, name 3 people that have what you said on their bathroom wall. Like, what was it? Sing like no one's listening. Are you serious?
Sing
People
like it's just like one of those phrases that you see, like, etched on a piece of wood. You know what I'm talking about.
Do you have that, Steve? In your
I
bathroom?
don't. No.
Do you have Live, Laugh, Love?
Same people
Like
that
that.
would have been watching Gilmore Girls in
Thank
the
you.
2000s.
Live,
And same people that would have live, laugh, love. Same shit.
Laugh, Love.
Sing like you think no one's listening. Yep. That would
I'm
be a
gonna-
good away message too. I might have
I'm
had
going
that
to
one
get
at one
all those
point.
things and put them in my bathroom now.
That's going to be Chris's Christmas gift to me. Is it's going to have a little wooden. He's going to hand carve out "Sing Like You Think No One's Listening" in a piece of wood.
I actually think that's a great idea.
He's writing it down.
Or maybe it'll be YOLO.
He's writing it down.
Can I get you a YOLO?
YOLO. I don't think I'd be that happy with that.
But
I
you
could
would
put-
like.
Could put
you
it on
would
a
like the
Stanley
other
Cup
one.
for you.
Okay, I wrote it down, so I made a note. So Merry Christmas in advance.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, keep it moving.
Well, you're first, dude. You're up.
I'm up. Another word for desperate. So, I mean, from the very beginning, this one has a much darker vibe. I think maybe the musician people would say maybe this is in a minor key. Would that be accurate? I don't know if I'm talking to musicians. You got a guitar there, Kevin.
I do, but I'm not that good at it that I can identify keys and everything.
Fair enough. But
I'm
I
going to
think
go with yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Minor key. But I think that, when we get to this song, after having these 3 that I've said are such like positive messages that, we kind of see that, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. The chorus for this one, it just doesn't hit me quite as hard as some of the other ones. I like the last line, which is, I won't be around here for too very long. But it doesn't have that same effect, I think, than the first handful of songs. It's also a little on the long side. I mean, all these songs are kind of long. This one's 5 minutes 20. And then the last verse is like totally different. Like it's kind of a weird track. It does a lot of different things. So, I mean, I don't skip it, but it's not one that like I would playlist or kind of go back to often.
Kevin?
I mean, so this is one of the songs on this album, and I'll probably hit on this a little bit. Like the first one, this is kind of, as you were saying, a little in the middle. The chorus isn't really that crisp. It's kind of a little droll and kind of drags on. I would probably listen to it all the way through. I wouldn't skip it, but again, I think it's one of those songs that just kind of, drags a little bit and seems a little bit like some of the other songs later on this album that can all start to blend together a little bit for me.
That's super interesting that you guys are saying these things.
Because this is going to be like one of your favorites. This always happens.
This song gets a small circle with a bigger circle around it.
Oh,
this is that good.
Wow, this is brand new to the legend of Chris 183. I don't know what that is.
It's an immediate hit. It's like a target.
Ah, okay. Double circle. Okay.
Double circle. Remember that. This song has a definitive uptick in enjoyment for me, the listener, because it has more of an edge. It does a lot of cool things. The different things that it does gives it personality, gives it depth. And so a couple things on the upside things. I think that the way this song is sung is so magical. Like the careful, I call it, this is what I said. The careful word by word verse, the way that it's delivered adds to the compelling nature of the song composition. I wrote that. That
sounds like ChatGPT, dude.
I wrote that.
That sounds like ChatGPT.
I'm dead serious. I wrote that. I did not. I can't even get that to work anymore.
Okay.
I'm telling you, like a million times in a row, I wrote that. I did.
You did. Okay.
Because that's the way I was feeling. And I really like how the choruses go all out, and they even build. So they go all out and they build towards the end. Guys, I don't know how you turn your back to a building chorus, but you did. So whatever, right? That's okay. I respect that opinion. More of this song for me. The mixture of soft and loud I think is great contrast. I always love that in a song. And front to back, I really enjoyed this track. So this is just kind of where I'm at.
I'm glad we found one for you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that it's the one that we were a little less excited about, because that's usually just how it shakes out.
It is. It certainly is. Well, you guys make mistakes that you didn't know you were making.
It's true. We do this sometimes. Kevin, I think you can kick this one off.
Mistakes we knew we were making. Probably on the top half of the album for me. Nothing really like sticks out about the composition for the song. I would say I do like the lyrics of it. And, as the last one was a little bit longer of a runtime, this one was more modest and it kind of seemed to go a little quicker. So, overall, good song to have. Not my favorite, but also on the top end of the CD.
I like how they kind of mix in and out. Like, they'll go something slower and different, something a little more upbeat. I would consider this one a little more upbeat, but it does have, that piano that starts it off similar to Prom Night. The lyrics, very introspective. I love them. There's the drum roll that Chris talked about a couple of songs ago. This one, the drum roll kind of keeps the entire song moving. The chorus is really big and really strong. I love how they kind of switch the pre-chorus line from the first time to the second time. First time he goes, I'm convinced, wondering what if is the worst thing there is. But the second time he says, because I'm convinced that giving in is the worst thing there is. So I like those little idiosyncrasies where they change. And I think the message of the song is pretty simple. Just chill the fuck out and take a breath, which sometimes I feel like I need to do. And everybody probably could listen to that. And I think one of the things that I've always loved about Taking Back Sunday, which we see here in a little bit of a different format, but is the back and forth harmonizing. It comes back here. We have but a male-female voice. It sounds much prettier than Adam and John. John and Michelle sound great. So I'm a big fan of mistakes that we knew we were making.
I didn't hear that female voice earlier in the record. This is probably the first time that I heard it. So.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying it wasn't there, but I just didn't hear it for some reason. So maybe I wasn't listening for it, but I definitely heard it on this track. Did you guys hear the backwards track? So maybe it's just an effect on a guitar, but it sounds like there's something that's backwards, and it's a backing track to what they're doing. So listen to it again if you don't know what I'm talking about. And the reason I bring it up is because I think that they use that effect or that backing track on more than one song. It works, but it was just something noteworthy that I wanted to bring up to see if you heard the same thing I did. And by the silence, I guess you didn't.
I think on the next song, I heard some strange vocal effects, but I don't know that any stick out to me on this one.
This wasn't vocal, though. This is like musically, like behind everything. It sounded like something going backwards.
Gotcha. I don't know.
I definitely know what you're talking about. I can't place the other song, but I think you're right. I think there is a recording or a loop that they use a couple times.
So I don't think this is a bad tune. To me, like this is something that would be better suited to listen to if it was on in the background. Like imagine you're shopping at somewhere like IKEA and you're like you're listening to music in the background, and this is kind of what I would think would be on. Where you think like, that's a really nice bed and a kitchen set. Like, I think that probably is really good stuff. But then
I need a Live, Laugh, Love wooden etched wall unit.
But then you really think about it, like, it really isn't good stuff. Like, it's kind of like middle of the road. IKEA stuff does break pretty easily if you don't take care of it. Just telling you.
Thank you.
I've lived a lot. I've learned, and I've laughed.
You've sang like you think no one's listening, and you bottled and shelved all your regrets.
You have no.
It's a good line, though, is it not? Bottled and shelved our regrets, let them ferment, and came back to our senses. That chorus is good. That is a well-written, well-executed chorus.
Does that mean like you press down and like you repress your regrets? Like you just try and forget about them? Is that what he's trying to say?
Well, they did. You put them away for a little bit, you let them chill out, and then you come back to your senses.
Doesn't
and then
that
you
make
laugh at how stupid you used to be.
Aren't you supposed to not do that, though? Doesn't that make you kind of like explode after a while if you bottle that stuff up?
He says just a few days. It's a few days. Not fermenting. It's not like, Macallan 18 or anything like that.
Oh, a few days. Okay. I don't know. I don't have any opinions on that. You got my opinions already. So we can go on to the next track. We can go on to the next track, and I don't have a good segue.
Two things that Chris has lots of: dignity and money.
Well,
how about that one? That was good, right?
That's good. All right. You're always in the clutch with that stuff. So
go ahead, buddy. Do the dignity and money. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't keep a list or anything.
Look, I mean, I've been trying to. I was on track there for a minute, but this song has a fun up tempo melody, doesn't it? But does it? Like, kind of. And I say that because that's what I wrote down first. But then I went back on that thinking, like, no, it doesn't. Like the whole time, because the first three lines of the verse, we'll call it, were back to that like slow focus style of delivery. And then you transition to that faster paced faster pace delivery with the, maybe it was the chorus or pre-chorus, whatever. You definitely get the different vocalist here. I don't like, she plays what's her first name again?
Michelle. She
obviously is the main vocalist in the song. It's a different, it's completely different, right? Because she's only kind of done backing vocals in some of the other tracks up to this point. So this is her first chance to really make a first impression on me. And unfortunately, I did not really, I didn't buy it. I wasn't into it as much. I would tell her like, hey, nice try, but let's maybe try something different next time, because this one just wasn't as what I wanted. It just wasn't a song that I was looking for in her first song that I would hear sung by her to me. So I would say definitely no to this one. What would you guys say?
So this is the first one that I had to, when looking back at this album, re-listen to because I couldn't picture it in my mind at all. I do think Michelle is not great as the lead vocalist. I think she's really good when she's harmonizing, but
wait, guys,
her voice is not overly strong.
I don't think she's the lead on here. I think she's still mostly background.
No.
On parts, but I mean, he kicks the song off.
Yeah.
Right?
It's split though.
He does.
I
the
don't
chorus.
think so. I'm listening to it right now. I think you're dead wrong. I'm listening to it again. I know that's not true. I literally just listened to it.
I mean, she definitely has a stronger presence, but I don't think that she's the lead on this.
How can I listen to this song and not disrupt the show? I have no idea.
Sorry, I interrupted Kevin.
I don't know how to do it. I'm going to listen to it right after the show. Go ahead, Kevin.
That's about all I had. Steve?
Okay. So some of the verses, I actually feel like the verses that John is leading are a little underwhelming. The first verse is, damage, control, they're so thoroughly modern. There's a lot of different pacings between everything else. And then when you get into that next section, it's much faster. We can get convinced and we can get convinced, that part. Then we go back to him, and that's like, I guess, the chorus. So I focused on what I've been promised. Lot of There are some weird vocal effects on this one. The pace changes, like helps keep it moving. And I thought that Michelle was more in the background, but I thought her vocals were pretty strong in the background. Towards the end, there's some nice harmonies. Overall, to me, this is kind of a good like album track, like sitting in the middle here at number 6. It doesn't like stand out or hit you in the face, but I think it's a pretty good album track. Chris put his pod in his ear as to not disrupt the show, and now he's listening. And we are distracting him, and now he cannot concentrate on the point he's trying to make. And it doesn't matter because we're going to move on to the next song.
I kind of like this.
He's going to move backwards. He's going to stop us when we're in the middle of Your Name Here, Sunrise Highway. And then he's going to go back to a point that was 5 minutes ago. Calling it up. And Chris is just jamming out to this song. So should we move ahead, Chris, or do you want to make a point?
No, let's move ahead because I'm going to stick behind my opinion.
Fair enough. So Your Name Here, Sunrise Highway. I have a pretty strong relationship with this song. This is a very, very slow song. Okay, so if you don't like slow songs, you're not gonna like the song. That's totally fine. The fact that like I grew up right near Sunrise Highway just made me love this song so much because it was like he was talking about a place that I would pass every single day. I actually tried to follow the directions on a map quest. I didn't like drive it. That would be a little stalkery. But I tried to follow the directions, and they're not, just so you know, they're not 100% accurate. They were changed a little bit to make the song work. I think I told you, Sean's sister was in my grade in high school. And I think at one point I asked her, I was like, that's not geographically accurate. And she's like, yeah, it was like changed because there's no left at Carmen's Avenue. But the whole vibe of the song is basically just like, giving directions to the house. And do you guys have it? Do you know like what the song is about by any chance?
Not really.
Because I think it's going to blow your mind.
Is this the one that is kind of a reply to There's No I in Team?
Yes. So this is basically a sequel to There's No I in Team by Taking Back Sunday. So you remember Jesse Lacey, John Nolan get into this big fight. I think it was over a girl. And, they write 70 times 7. Then there's No I in Team. And then this is basically a sequel where, the chorus is giving these rough directions to John Nolan's house. And it's kind of written as more of like I miss my best friend kind of vibe rather than like the angst and the anger from There's No I in Team. I can't regret it. Can't you just forget it? So I think for a really long time, I didn't actually know what the song was about. And now it makes me like it like 10 times better. And it makes sense. Your Name in Lights. It was only a matter of time. Jesse, brand new, kind of blew up at that time. There's a really nice instrumental breakdown at the end. So anyways, it's a slow, plodding, really nice song that I don't expect everybody to dig their teeth into, but because it hit so close to home to me, I certainly did.
So is this like a diss track, or what are you trying to say?
No, this is kind of like like I miss my friend, kind of like I wish things were different kind of thing.
Well, did he ever respond to that?
I don't know their personal behaviors.
I mean, all that stuff kind of got out. I thought maybe it would have.
I think that they did reconcile later on.
Because of this song?
That I couldn't tell you.
It probably played a part.
Who knows?
I do. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I don't. So, Kevin, do you want to sound off?
Yeah, so first, Steve, I 100% knew that you were going to say you like this song because of its relationship to New York. It didn't matter how it sounded or anything. You were just going to say because you knew where it was.
I mean, Sunrise Highway is like in the middle of all of Long Island. Like every town is based on the South Shore is connected by Sunrise Highway.
But this song was a little slow for me, and this one was the hard to get through one off of this album. I feel like a lot of times I would find myself listening to the whole first half of this album, and then sometimes I would get distracted by this, and this might be like my kickoff point. So Yeah, this one's a little slow for my tastes.
I get it.
I was actually digging this one a little bit at the beginning, but it just was like, I think, yeah, you're right. It's too long. It's too long. It's a little bit too whiny. It's a little bit too teen drama. It's just a little bit too slow. And it just lost all my interest as we kind of got to the end. I couldn't make it through like I did because I'm a professional when it comes to the show, so I listen to the whole song. But
Thank you for that.
I could not get to the end of this. But I tell you what, like, you know, if this was a little bit shorter, and that's it. If it was a little bit shorter, I think I might get into this one a little bit more, because I thought that the tune here, like the melody to this slower song, was actually decent. Do you think that maybe this is a song for the audience out there, or maybe even Kevin? It doesn't matter, but do you think that potentially, because this is what I was thinking when I listened to this, would this be a song that Steve would stop the car, turn the radio up, and then get outside of the car and start to slow dance with somebody else in the highway to this song?
On Sunrise Highway?
Yeah. Do you think that's a possibility? Could that have happened, or could it happen in the future?
Yeah, I was going to say, not only do I think it's possible, I think it's probably happened a few times already.
It's really nice.
And it was with you, Kevin, so I don't know why you're acting so coy.
It's very nice. I also realized during this track that sometimes these songs sound like if Soul Asylum and the Counting Crows had a baby. Like, it would sound like that. Listen to it. Listen to both of those bands, and then listen to this again.
Would you like it better if the lyrics were, go east on Sunrise Highway, turn left at Carmen's Avenue, go right at the first stoplight, and I'll be outside with a bacon, egg, and cheese waiting for you?
100% better.
Okay. Because that's what you eat on Long Island.
But they didn't do it.
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
Why wouldn't they go that direction?
That'd be kind of funny if they did that live.
That was good. You're
Just to
good.
mess with people.
You're getting there. It's good stuff.
On top of my game here.
You are, and just because you are, you're going to kick this next one off about all this crazy stuff they're talking about in this song.
Tool sheds and hot tubs. Not too much to say. So I mean, I don't think, even if you guys thought that Michelle led that other song, like, this is all Michelle, right? So this is the first time that she's basically got her entire song on lead vocals. It's super electronic. It's got this little like 80s vibe, and I kind of dig it. It's fun. It's different than all the other stuff on the album. Does it stand out as one that I'm gonna like go to at all times? Probably not, but I like it here. Number 8, that's fine.
Go ahead, Kevin. You're up.
As you were alluding to, this one really doesn't sound like the other tracks on the album. It's definitely a little bit different. It's a good listen on the album. I think I remember when we saw them, it was not very good live. I think Michelle's songs were a little bit hard to hear, so I still have that in my head, and I think I remember you telling me that while we were standing there. So I think
like the vocals weren't high enough.
Well, I don't think it was high energy enough, or just translated as well to a live show. But for the record, it is different. It's kind of a little more upbeat, but I can definitely see the 80s vibes on there. Whatever type of synthesizer or what they're using on the keyboard is different than anything else on the album.
I don't know if that was enough to save it. I heard the cool effects you're talking about, and I like that stuff, but I just really got bored on this track. It just sounds so like the same as other stuff, and so it kind of dragged on a little bit. And it's funny because I'll tell you this, like, my pen actually smudged a little bit on my notes. So the weird thing is that this song got swapped with that other song that I was talking about. So when I was talking about that other song, I meant this one because
That's why you
of my
were so
pen.
strong on saying that she was the lead.
Because of the pen, and it's smudged.
So everything that you said about that other song was about this song.
Potentially.
Cut that.
Potentially. Potentially, yes. So,
Do you want to just say it again?
no, I just stick with what I just said here. I did not want to listen to this song as much.
But
So this is the first impression that I kind of wanted to tell her that didn't go so well. I don't think she bombed, but I think that it probably could have gone a little bit better. And I do want to give her a second chance. Let's see what she can do.
by the way, apparently, I just did a little wikiing of Michelle DeRosa, and she went to my high school for her junior and senior years of high school. Didn't know her. She's a couple of years, I think, older than me, so I might not have been there yet. But she also has background vocals on 2 Taking Back Sunday, Tell All Your Friends tracks. She has background vocals on Bike Scene and Ghost Man on Third, and she married Jeff DeRosa, who's from the Dropkick Murphys. So she's got an interesting story.
Wow. I knew none of that stuff.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Wikipedia.
That's good trivia for a future trivia episode.
That would be a deep one.
Yeah, somebody might know that stuff. I mean, yes, big fans of this band.
If they do, it'll be for the best.
It will be for the best. And this song has a little spiral next to it because the spiral means that it's another track that I listen to over and over and over and over again, trying to figure out how I felt and how to put words to what I wanted to say about this song. And by the way, this was the other one that I felt had that backwards track kind of in the back of it, which again added a nice little touch to it. I mean, it sounded good. I just don't think this one was for me. I tried and tried. It just was, again, kind of boring in a way that I just couldn't pick out anything that I really liked. Maybe it's just this melody that didn't click with me, but that's really it. So maybe you guys felt differently. I just wasn't there with this one.
Gavin, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, of course. This was one of my favorites. So I think just connecting with the lyrics has always put it over the top for me. I can see where you're going with the melody, but I think just the lyrics overall for me are something that stick in my head. It's really just worked for me since. So overall, this is one of my favorites off the album.
Yeah, I really like this. Kind of seems like a power ballad to me a little bit. I love the cadence when I was scared to death of eternity. I was saved by grace, but destroyed by naivety. And I like the cadence in the different parts of the song is really fun. I like the vibe. I feel like it kind of seems like it's bass and drum driven, which is a little different than most of the other ones, which are more piano driven. It's also constructed a little interesting. Like, I'm not even sure that there's a chorus, right? And I lie to myself and say it's for the best. I mean, he says that a few times, but I don't even know if it's it's kind of just this one kind of big, composition. I love it. There are overlapping vocals and the back and forth towards the end. We're moving forward, holding ourselves back. You got the male female. I think this is a really good track here at number 9. A lot of times, I do feel like the album is somewhat top heavy, but there are tracks like this towards the end that would go to the contrary of that.
So both of you guys like this, and I did not. Basically, that's what we're saying. Yeah,
I mean, if we're gonna put like a very basic score to it, I think that would be 2 us, 1 you. Yeah,
that's not how we do this. This episode's not about that.
You just made me. You asked.
No, I don't think so. I didn't ask you to put it that way, though.
That's exactly what you asked.
I did not. It was a little bit different.
Okay.
Well, this was definitely a 2 circle for me, not a spiral, but I'm picking up on those hieroglyphs.
Were there any checks, stars, shamrocks, hearts?
Kevin's he's a fast learner. Steve still has not picked up on any of this stuff yet, but good for you guys.
I'm working on it. It changes every week, so there's no way to keep up with it.
So now it's done, and actually, at first I thought, well, you know what, Steve, you haven't gone first in a bit, so why don't you go ahead and kick this one off? I
Have
won't
not?
be a I won't be a Straylight Run hog here. So
Oh, fair enough. So here we have. I think this is the second full Michelle driven song, but this time, a lot slower, a lot darker. I like the chorus in here. It's nice, but other than that, it's not really something that I'm super into. I think the verses are a little boring, and I think it's kind of long. I didn't write down the time on it, but I felt like it was long. So not one of my favorites here.
okay, Kevin, what about you?
I'm with Steve here. This might be my least favorite on the album. Yeah, it's kind of slow, kind of boring, kind of meandering for me. Uh, it's yeah, these are the tracks where I look at Michelle's vocals and say, she needs someone else with her. She's good at harmonizing, but the lead, I don't know if she's strong enough there.
I think she's got a good voice. I don't think it's the voice. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
This is crazy. This is just nuts. What's happening here? This song has a star. Guys, this is a much better second song for her. I think that she totally redeemed herself with me with this song here versus Tool Sheds and Hot Tubs that I did not enjoy that much because this song has character to it. This is another one of those slow-paced deliveries too, but I really like that. And it gives the song that depth, that eeriness, that darkness that I really, really like to it. Like, this is different than what I've heard so far in this album. And I like what I'm hearing. I like this direction. I want more of this. That little beat too between the verse and going into the chorus. It's just a slow pause, or maybe there's a everything drops out except for one instrument. I can't remember because I'm not listening to it right now. But whatever that is, and then you go into the chorus, it's an excellent segue, especially, you have that difference between the way the verse is delivered in the chorus. Similar to some other songs on this album that do the same thing, but this one does it just a little bit different. And that chorus is a little bit different, but it's just right. It has just the right pace, in my opinion, that makes it still keeps with the theme, but keeps your attention because, again, it has that difference to it. So I love the way this song sets a tone. This song does give me the feels for sure. I'm a big fan of Now It's Done. And it's not done yet.
There's one more.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep it rolling, Chris? Finish it off?
Sure. This one kind of takes me back down, though. So to me, like, this sounds like this song sounds like it could be a show tune number in a Straylight Run musical. It just sounds like that to me. I don't know why, but I'll tell you what else it does do. It definitely gives me TBS vibes in the lyrics here. The way that he kind of scratchy yells some of this stuff, like that just sounds TBS to me. Like, and I feel like that's okay, right? It makes sense. But ultimately, those are the only two things I could pull from it. Otherwise, I had no interest.
Kevin?
So I like the song. I think this is a little bit of a theme with this, but it could have been cut down. The end when he's just doing "You Want It All" over and over again, I probably could have had that a little bit shorter. I'm looking at it now; it's almost 6 minutes long for the track. So if they were able to kind of consolidate it a little bit, I think it would have been a lot better. But overall, it's still a pretty good listen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's too long. This one to me, I think had some pretty major like Jimmy Eat World vibes to it. There's kind of this like real nice, sweet verses, but then this chorus, like screamy, like Taking Back Sunday, like chorus. I think I like John's screamy verses the best. There are some good dual vocals in here. So I think it's a decent track to end off to finish up the album. But to both your points, yeah, it's a little too long. I think they could have consolidated a little bit.
Do you really think "screamy" is the word? And I'm just asking. I'm not tearing you down.
Screamy. I mean, you can be screamy in a lot of different ways.
What if we say scratchy? instead of screamy.
I would be fine with that.
We could talk about this. We could talk about the different categories on another time, another show.
You're going to create different types of vocal categories?
We should. But I'm
think
willing
you
to collaborate with you on that.
I think you need to create a scale of like on one end, Adam Lazaro from Taking Back Sunday to like another end of like John from Taking Back Sunday and kind of see where that all falls into place.
I like
Well,
where
there's
he's going.
certainly things outside of those scales. There's like,
True.
your real growl, your growls would go after all those.
Uh-huh. Like the guy from Finch.
I would put like Day to Remember is like the growliest.
Yes. They definitely were.
Where would I put Finch? I'm not exactly sure.
Probably
I have to
like
think
just
about
short
this.
of that, right? Just short of that.
He would definitely be in between anyone from Taking Back Sunday and the guy from Day to Remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's do that someday.
Okay.
Let's just
Come
do
up with
that.
all the different adjectives, and we will we'll rank them, or
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, we just made a show up. I can't believe it.
The ideas are just flowing. 243 episodes in, they just keep coming.
Speaking of ideas, do not get any ideas right now because we are moving into the next segment of the show, and that segment's called Ranking It. Kevin, you have never experienced this before, so because you were brand new to being on the show, I will explain what that means. And even though it may be a little cryptic, and for some, you may not necessarily know what ranking it means, but simply put, we're going to rank our top 3 songs off the album Straylight Run by the band Straylight Run.
Was that cryptic? That kind of seemed pretty to the point.
Self-explanatory.
So I think that usually we let the guests go first. So let's go with that again. And so I'm going to put you on the spot, Kevin. Give us your top 3 now. But I didn't tell you. Well, I didn't tell you this, though. They have to be in order from 3, 2, 1. And I do not appreciate honorable mentions, Steve.
If you need to do it, you can do it.
Okay, because I was going to throw in an honorable mention.
Wow.
I didn't say you couldn't, but I just don't appreciate it.
So I think at honorable mention would be Mistakes We Knew We Were Making. And then number 3 would be It's For the Best. And then for number 2 is The Tension and the Terror. And then I would, of course, have Existentialism on Prom Night as my 1.
Awesome. Chris, do I go next or you go next?
You go next.
I didn't have an honorable mention, but I'm going to throw one in just for shits and giggles. And you know what? Those four are my same 4, but in a different order. So the honorable mention would be It's For the Best. Number 3 is going to be Existentialism on Prom Night. Number 2 is Mistakes We Knew We Were Making. And number 1, by far, is Tension and the Terror.
You did that for shits and giggles. That's why you did that, right?
I saw that you were disturbed, so I didn't want Kevin to be the only one that broke the rules. I wanted to make him feel better, so that if he gets invited back on the show, he doesn't feel like you're angry at him.
I'm kind of torn here though, because I am having a really hard time finding a top 3.
Finding 3 songs you enjoyed.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I know that I kind of tore this song down a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Your Name here. I think that for number 3, I think that there is a way that I could potentially find a way to really like this one with time. So we're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and put it at number 3 for right now, because honestly, I don't know what else I would put above it in that scenario. But the next 2 were pretty clear, and I think everybody out there, if you were paying attention and following along, you probably know which 2 I'm going to pick. Now It's Done would be number 2 for me, and number 1 would be Another Word. I have Another World for Desperate. That can't be right, correct?
No, it's Another Word.
I wrote down World.
Are you renaming the song?
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so another word for desperate was my number one. I thought this one was definitely an immediate hit, like I said. So if I were going to recommend a song for you to listen to off this album, those would be the three.
Did you guys? I forgot to mention it, Kevin. This is one of your favorites. You know, it's for the best features. What's his name? Nate Roos, the guy from Fun.
I saw that when I was doing some of the research for this.
I
was actually thinking he was in the format too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I always confuse that because we saw them play as well a long time ago.
Maybe opening for somebody else.
I think it was Acceptance and Yellow Card.
Oh, that tracks. Yeah.
Who's Nate Roos?
He's the lead singer from Fun.
Oh, he's the lead singer. Okay. He's the guy. We are young. That guy?
Yep.
Okay. And on that Pink song, he's also on that one too. Same guy.
I don't remember the Pink song, but I'll take your word for it.
I don't know any Pink songs either. Never mind.
Okay. Well, that's it. We got through ranking it. We got through the album. Any closing words on Straylight Run? I'm glad that we got to talk about it. Again, it's something that's totally different. And if you're super into pop punk and emo, you might not like it. But if you like Taking Back Sunday, you like these two gentlemen, they do something different. And I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
I just don't think it was up my alley. I don't know. Like I feel like there was some songs that broke through and were unique enough that caught my attention. So I think that there's some things here that I could end up liking, and maybe that expands into the other songs over time. But first crack at it, it's just not my cup of tea for the most part. So unfortunately, I wasn't on the same wavelength as you two guys with this. Sadly enough, they had other albums, all right, one or two.
They had one other album. I can't say that I really remember it though.
Okay, I wonder what direction they went in with that. If it was just more of the same, or more of one way or the other.
I think it was vaguely similar. It wasn't too different overall. But I mean, as I said before, this album holds up for me. It's probably one of the emo albums that I also don't feel like I'm listening to high schoolers talk about girl problems, 20 years after the fact. And even though I'll just throw it out there, I love the starting line, but they do feel like that to me sometimes when I'm listening to it. But overall, I still listen to a lot of these songs, easily those top four. What is your stance on rumors here? Because I had a question for you guys.
Okay.
Love them.
So I don't know if this is accurate or not, but when I was reading, it said that they actually left Taking Back Sunday because Adam from Taking Back Sunday was cheating on Michelle.
Okay.
So I guess that's where John and Adam got in a fight, and that's why he left.
Mm.
I don't know that I can really comment. It sounds like it would be up the alley for, a bunch of Long Islanders who were kind of incestuous. I mean, obviously there was the Brand New and the Taking Back Sunday, and there was some, girlfriend things. So that would make sense, but I can't say I could confirm it in any way.
Well, you're saying Michelle is the one in the band, and Adam was dating her?
Yeah.
Which is John's sister.
So he was dating John's sister, and he got mad because allegedly he did some stuff elsewhere.
He was stepping out on his sister.
Allegedly. Okay.
I saw this one place.
Was it absolutepunk.net?
I don't know, to be honest. Why?
Was it on MySpace? No, that was like the place where this stuff had like a forum back in 2004.
Where would you find that on MySpace, Steve?
I don't know, maybe on Kevin's profile.
His profile.
He's got a link.
No, you'll only find existentialism on prom night lyrics there.
I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows. Do you guys know the answer to that? Is that something you've heard of before? If so, let us know. John, Michelle, Adam, anyone care to comment? Send us a message. We'll share. They could squash this right away. Like, no, that didn't happen. Or, yeah, hell yeah, it did. And that's the reason.
See, I'm trying to help you out. Get them on here and set the record straight.
We want them all on here at one time to talk about it.
Tried.
Talk about it.
We tried.
Talk it out. Do try and try again.
We will.
Right?
Absolutely.
Just like I did with this album. I tried and tried and tried.
Well, keep it up. Don't give it up. It's a good album.
I'm not. I'm going to continue to try in between other stuff that we do here. There's definitely some seeds here that I can hold. I can hold on to. You don't hold on to seeds, do you? You plant them.
Not that I'm aware of.
It didn't flow. I tried. Cut that.
Cut that. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. This was super fun. Hope you had a good time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
You got it. It's always a blast. Again, it's fun to talk about new stuff. For me, anyway, it's probably fun to talk about nostalgic stuff for you guys, and hopefully everybody out there listening. It's fun for you to listen to either one of those if you relate to either one of those scenarios. But if you haven't checked out this album yet, go ahead and do it, right? Actually, if you are listening to the show's over. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to the album. Maybe listen to the show again. Think about what we said. Come up with your own opinions. And when you do that, when you have your own opinions, that's when you can reach back out to us and let us know what they are. And how do you do that? Well, there's many different ways. And, we have the socials. We have the Discord. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Discord, all those things. And you can find out where to link to those via our hub. Simply put, it's www.hsnepod.com. At that website, you're going to find links to all of those things I just talked about where you can interact with us and tell us what you thought about this album, Straylight Run.
That's right. And while you're on the website, you can buy some merch. We have hoodies, we have hats, we have t-shirts, we have mugs, good stuff, all to support your favorite pop punk dad podcast and independent podcast network. Speaking of which, if you don't want to spend any money, you can just give us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening to, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and you can actually write like a full-on review on Apple as well. So thank you so much, Kevin. This was fun. Chris 183, as always, we're going to be back next week with another victorious episode. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.